Imagine a city rising straight out of the desert floor, not a city of glass, not a city of steel. This is a city made from the earth itself. Towering mud brick buildings packed tightly together like something from a fantasy film. This incredible place is real. It is called Shibam. It sits in the wide, dry Wadi Hadramaut Valley in Yemen. The history of Shibam stretches back a very long time, well over 1,700 years. It was once an important stopping point for the camel caravans that traveled along the famous incense and spice routes. These caravans carried precious goods like frankincense and myrrh, from the coast of Arabia to the great empire of Rome and Persia. The city you see today, however, with its incredible tower houses, mostly dates back to the 16th century. It was rebuilt after a devastating flood destroyed the older settlement, a powerful reminder of nature's force. The buildings themselves are considered by many to be the world's first skyscrapers. This is a bold claim, but when you look at them it makes sense. These are not just houses, they are multi-story apartment blocks. Some of the tower houses are over 100 feet tall, an incredible achievement for structures made entirely of mud brick. Each building was designed to house a single, extended family. The ground floor was typically used for storing grain and housing animals. The upper floors were the living quarters, sleeping, eating, socializing. The higher up you went, the more important the rooms became. Top floors often reserved for gatherings and enjoying the cooler evening breeze. The question that echoes in your mind as you stare at Shibam is simple. Why? Why build such tall structures in the middle of a vast empty desert? The answer is a brilliant combination of security and necessity. The primary reason was defense. Hadramaut was a land of competing tribes and frequent raids. Bedouin raiders would sweep across the landscape looking to plunder. Shibam, however, with high walls and towering homes, acted as a fortress. It was a single, unified stronghold, easy to protect. There were very few gates which could be heavily guarded and shut tight. The construction of Shibam is a masterclass in using local natural materials. There was no steel or concrete available here hundreds of years ago. The builders had to use what the earth provided. The main ingredient for the entire city is mud. But this is not just any mud, it is a special mixture of clay, soil taken from the wadi floor. To make the mud bricks stronger and more durable, another simple but vital ingredient was added: chopped straw and hay. This mixture of mud and straw was then pressed into wooden molds to form uniform rectangular bricks. These bricks were laid out in their thousands under the open sky to bake and harden in the sun. A city made of mud might sound fragile, as if it could just wash away in the first big storm. But, Shibam has stood for over 500 years. Its survival is not an accident. It is really the result of constant care and a deep understanding of how to work with the earth. The secret to its longevity is a continuous cycle of maintenance. Living in a mud brick house is a bit like, well, living in a living thing. It needs regular attention to stay healthy and strong. The biggest enemy of these buildings is water. Rain can erode the mud walls, slowly washing away the very fabric of the city. Another important protective measure is the use of gypsum and lime plaster, particularly on the rooftops and the upper sections of the walls. The skills of mixing mud, making bricks, and plastering walls are passed down from father to son. Stepping inside one of Shibam's towering homes is, honestly, an experience in itself. The thick mud walls provide incredible insulation from the desert climate. On a day when the temperature outside is soaring, the rooms inside remain remarkably cool and comfortable. The design of the house is clever, with different floors serving different purposes. The ground floor is often the coolest and darkest part of the house. As you climb the steep, narrow staircases, the function of the rooms changes. The first and second floors are typically the main living areas for the family. These floors contain the bedrooms and the women's quarters. The very top floor is often an open-air terrace or a large reception room called the mafraj. Walking through the streets of Shibam is like navigating a deep, man-made canyon. The towering mud brick buildings rise up on either side of you, so close together that they almost seem to touch the sky. This is a city built for pedestrians. There are no cars here, the streets are far too narrow. The main street leads to the main mosque and the local market, or souk. The traditional dress of the region is also a distinctive part of its culture. Men often wear a futa, a wraparound skirt, similar to a sarong. Many also carry a jambia, a curved dagger worn on a belt. It is a powerful symbol of manhood and status. In 1982, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, made a very important decision. It recognized Shibam as a World Heritage Site. This designation is given to places on Earth that are considered to have outstanding universal value. This means that Shibam is not just a treasure for the people of Yemen, but a treasure for all of humanity. The city is a living textbook of sustainable building. In 2015, UNESCO placed Shibam on the list of World Heritage in danger, highlighting grave risks due to conflict, and due to tropical storms and heavy rains that have caused damage. This designation is a call to action for the international community. Shibam is so much more than just a collection of old buildings. It is a living symbol of human resilience. For centuries, its people have faced incredible challenges. Yet, through it all, Shibam has stood tall. The skills needed to maintain these mudbrick marvels are precious and must be passed on to the next generation. Protecting Shibam requires a delicate balance. It means preserving the ancient structures while also ensuring that the city can continue to be a viable, living home for its residents. The mud towers of Shibam have watched over the Hadramaut Valley for half a millennium. They have seen empires rise and fall. With our help, and with the continued dedication of its incredible people, we must ensure that this extraordinary city continues to stand for centuries to come, a timeless beacon of ingenuity and hope in the heart of the desert.